Okay, so today we're going to break down a story that absolutely blew up online. It's got everything. A big pop star, an 11-year-old fan on her dream birthday trip, and a dramatic confrontation over breakfast at a hotel. And believe me, it ends with accusations of bullying, a citywide ban, and some really big questions about the price of fame.
So really, what this whole thing boils down to is this one big question. Where is the line? When does a celebrity trying to set a boundary cross over into something that feels like bullying to a fan? We're going to unpack the two very different sides of what went down that morning.
All right, let's kick things off with the accusation, which comes directly from the fans' family. For them, what should have been the highlight of their daughter's year just completely fell apart, leaving their 11-year-old in tears after what they say was a totally harmless moment.
First up, let's get a quick rundown of who we're talking about here. Of course, there's the pop star, Chappell Roan. Then we have the fan, who is an 11-year-old girl and also the daughter of actor Jude Law. And with her were her mom, Catherine, and her stepfather, the well-known footballer Georgino. And you really have to understand the setting here, because it's so important. This wasn't just some random family breakfast on vacation. The entire trip was a special birthday present. And the main gift? Tickets to see Chappell Roan perform that very night. They were in that city, in that hotel, specifically for her.
So what exactly happened? Well, according to the family, it was almost nothing. The daughter thought she spotted Chappell Roan, so she did what her parents called a quick little lap past the table. They make it super clear. She didn't say a word, didn't ask for a picture, nothing. Just a simple walk by. Okay, so she does this quick walk by. And then, just moments later, things apparently get really intense. The family says this huge security guard came over to their table and confronted them. Her stepfather, Georgino, said the guy was so aggressive that it left his daughter, in his words, extremely shaken and crying a lot.
And right there, that's the core of this whole thing, isn't it? You have the family saying it was a quick, quiet, totally innocent walk-by. But the guard was allegedly accusing them of letting their daughter disrespect or harass another guest. I mean, two completely opposite takes on the exact same moment.
Now that's one side, but of course there's a whole other perspective. As the family story started to go viral, Chappell Roan got on social media to give her version of what happened.
Her main point was, basically, I have no idea what you're talking about. She claimed she was completely unaware anything was even going on. In her words, she didn't see anyone, no one came up to her, no one bothered her. From her perspective, it was a total non-event.
And this is a really important part of her defense. She says, that guard, not mine. She claimed it was the hotel's security, not someone from her personal team. And that's a key move, right? It puts a lot of distance between her and that aggressive confrontation.
You know how these things go online. It didn't take long for the narrative to become Chappell Roan hates kids. So she had to address that directly. The source material we have actually notes that when she said, I do not hate children, she had what was described as a nervous laugh.
So even though she's saying this had nothing to do with me, she did offer an apology for what the family experienced. She said she was sorry that someone, and you gotta assume she means the guard, made an assumption about them, and she flat out said, you did not deserve that.
You think that might be the end of it, right? Nope, not even close. Because after Chappell Roan gave her side of the story, the family came back with a new piece of information that pretty much called her entire defense into question. And that's when the real fallout started.
And this is the big twist in the story. The mother, Catherine, says she went right to the hotel management to ask about the guard. And according to her, the hotel told her that the guard was not their employee. Now that directly contradicts Chappell Roan's biggest claim and suggests the guard was, in fact, with her team.
The mother also challenged the whole idea that a celebrity in a public hotel restaurant deserves that kind of total privacy. Her argument was pretty simple, and it's one a lot of people were thinking. Hey, I'm a paying guest here too. If she wants to eat without anyone even looking in her direction, she can always just eat in her room.
So what happened after all this back and forth? Well, the consequences were pretty huge. The family, as you can imagine, skipped the concert, the daughter's main birthday gift. That very same night, Chappell Roan made a point of publicly thanking her security team on stage. Then the whole thing got so big that the mayor of Rio de Janeiro actually announced he was banning her from performing in the city, and he even invited the family to a future event as his personal guests.
And that brings us full circle, right back to that really tough question we started with. For a public figure in a public space, what's a reasonable expectation of privacy? And when a fan's quick glance feels like harassment to a celebrity's team, who gets to decide what's okay? It's a tricky one.